Welcome back to One Hot Bite. Melissa here, where healthy doesn't have to be boring, and we're gonna make something awesome today. So we are gonna make these baked egg boats. These are great for brunch. These are great for on the run. They almost come out like a burrito. You can travel with them. I'm starting with some pancetta here that I have diced up over medium-high heat, and I'm just gonna get this a little bit crisp. We're gonna saute this super easy. I want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you viewing my video today and being with me each and every Sunday and Monday. As soon as these are just lightly crisp, I'm going to take them out and put them on a paper towel just so they can drain off any additional oil or grease. That's a great thing to do when you're trying to save a little bit of calories and a little bit of fat. So the next thing we're going to need for this, and these are just the ingredients that I've decided to put inside my baked egg boat. You can do turkey sausage, you can do mushrooms, you can do ham and cheese. There's so many options. So right here I have some scallions or green onions. I'm just going to dice these up and set them aside. The other thing I'm going to add to mine, this is the cheese that I chose. This is Gruyere cheese, and I'm going to shred this up. This is kind of a large flat piece. It's a little unmanageable, so I'm going to cut it in half and I'm just going to shred this. I really end up shredding the entire thing, and you'll see the big pile that I have, and I do not need quite this much, but I'll show you exactly how much I'm going to use. Also down below is the entire description of the recipe and all of the ingredients. And if you haven't already done so, please smash that like button because you're going to love these baked egg boats. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as well, and you won't miss any of these delicious recipes. Here I have a sourdough baguette. If you have 2 of the 12-inch demi baguettes, this works really great. I ended up with this very long, very awesome sourdough baguette, and we're going to cut a V in the center. We want to basically keep the crust intact, so careful not to puncture the bottom of this at all, because we don't want any of our eggs spilling out from underneath. I'm going to hollow this out the best that I can. Just take your time. This was actually way easier than I thought it would be to do. It's super easy. And save these breadcrumbs and these pieces left over to make breadcrumbs or add to a crouton. I'm going to take in a separate bowl. I'm going to put 6 eggs in here. So the serving for this is 6 as well. As you see this finish out, I'm just going to crack the eggs in here. We're going to whisk those together. You want to make sure that your oven is preheating at 350 degrees before we bake this guy. And by the time we're ready, it should be up to heat. We're going to whisk together our eggs and just get those all mixed up before we add 1/3 cup of heavy cream. The heavy cream is, if you really want to cut even more calories out of this, you can definitely omit this, but do not use milk or skim milk. It has too much water and it won't turn out as fluffy and it'll be a little soggy. On top of that, we're going to add our diced green onions, our already crisped up pancetta, and we're going to add a bit of this cheese. It's going to be about 1/2 cup of cheese that we're going to add inside of the egg mixture. Get that all whisked together nicely. On our baking sheet, you don't need to prepare it in any way, shape, or form, but we're going to lay our bread boat on there. You can see how I've hollowed it out really nice. We're going to add a little bit of our cheese here. Really only need to add about 3 tablespoons. I kind of go a little heavy on this. But as soon as you have all of your cheese in there and pressed down, we're going to carefully add this egg mixture. So kind of start to add some, wait a little bit, it soaks into the sides and the edges, and then add it in. If you're doing 2 baguettes, the 2 12-inch demi baguettes, you want to make sure that you go back and forth so they're both filled equally. The cream that bakes in this is going to make these super fluffy and very souffle-like. It makes this just very creamy textured. As soon as you have this all filled up, as is, we're going to slip it into the oven for 30 minutes. Sure, every nook and cranny is filled with this delicious egg mixture. These are coming in at 340 calories per serving. Again, like I said, there are 6 servings for this. And this comes out of the oven just beautiful, brown, fluffy, on-the-go breakfast or perfect for a brunch. The family really enjoyed this. I'm going to pull it out now. You're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes. And you can see how pretty this is. You can see how portable it is. I can pick it up. You could take this on the go like a burrito, but it even holds together better than that. I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to show you the beautiful cross section of this, and you can see how much of that egg mixture and how much of that bread boat is there. And we kept our carbs lower by pulling out a lot of that filling, but this looks absolutely delicious. Thank you again so much for being here, and I will see you guys next week.